Paradoxical truths. Nothing is gentler than water, yet nothing can withstand its force. And likewise, nothing compares to the Tao. By it, the weak defeat the strong, and the flexible conquer the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but how few put it into practice. Monks and priests are often the worst sinners. Police officers and lawmakers are often the worst criminals. Truth is often paradoxical. In this chapter 78 of the Tao Te Ching, we are rapidly approaching the end of this book. And here, Lao Tzu is not pulling punches. And perhaps most disturbing, some of the concerns that are brought forward are just as relevant in our lives today, and likely have been in every civilization since. We have seen the inappropriate behavior by priests in our lifetime. We have seen the violations of consent and respect for all people's rights by police officers. We've seen lawmakers push policies that lessen some people's rights and elevate others, despite the promise in America that each and every person has certain unalienable rights. As Lao Tzu puts it, these people are often the worst criminals. Yet the job of a priest is to bring people closer to a holy message. The purpose of police officers and lawmakers is to uphold a moral and just law for all those who are part of this society that is subject to this law. Perhaps the problem is in the law itself. The way that we approach law as a hard and fast thing. Because each and every person can choose to respect consent and refuse to participate in violations of consent, regardless of what the law says. I have two quotes from a gentleman by the name of Robert Pirsig, who wrote a book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and several other books as well, that I think are relevant here. First, quote, "The danger is not in using the words. The danger is in clinging to them, clinging to their meaning and saying, oh, now I have spoken a great truth." In other words, having law is not a problem. Having law is very helpful in helping instruct people about the guardrails of how we are to act when becoming a part of a society. There's a deeper question here about affirmative enthusiastic consent and becoming a part of a society that we can leave for another time. But what this is not to say is that the law itself, the words that are written on a piece of paper by flawed lawmakers and enforced by police officers and preached on by in moral terms by priests, are some great truth. They are not the thing themselves. It is, after all, in all cases true that an idea that can be expressed in words is not the infinite idea. This is from chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching in the context by which we examine all of the points that come after. The second quote from Pirsig reads, "The place to improve the world is first in one's own heart and head and hands, and then work outward from there." We each have the ability to do this in our own lives. We each have the ability to make good choices, to pursue valuable acts, to define better for ourselves. This is not just the opportunity of a lifetime, but the work of a lifetime. What do you value?